And we're on. This is going to be my first video, attempt at a video even. Working it out with this new phone, see how we go. Anyway, the idea behind it all is to read my short stories. A friend of mine stopped me in the shop. He said, "Oh, do you have an audio book?" I said, "I don't." So it's gave me the idea. I shall read the first ever short story that I put together. I'm going to read this. As I say, it's from my wee book, Proceed with Caution. And we'll see how we go. This will be interesting to see how it develops over the next weeks and months as I learn a little bit more about video making and editing and all that kind of stuff. So, here we go. The very first short story that I put together. Shug and his binge drinking. To binge or not to binge? I guess that's the question here. The urge is so strong that Shug can feel it almost bursting through his veins. It all started with a few fleeting thoughts about 6 hours ago. Then the voice of a bewitching goddess whispering in his ear, seducing him with the ease and comfort that only she can bring. Have a drink, Shug. You know you want to. Come on, Shug. A wee drink's not going to do you any harm. However, her sultry voice has gotten louder and louder. She is no longer enticing him. She is screaming at him relentlessly and now has complete control. It's all Shug can think about. He tries to engage himself in other dialogue. Right, Shug, let's think about this. How long have you been on this health campaign? 2 weeks? 2.5? What the fuck? You can usually hold out for a bit longer than that. Jesus, suffering fuck. Where is this head fuck coming from? I'm doing alright. Shug, you're doing alright. Shug's desperately trying to pep talk himself, but it's a losing battle, as all he can think of is getting on the swally. He needs a drink. The wife will fucking kill me if she comes home from work and I'm out on another binge. That last binge, well, let's not even get into that. It still has me cringing, and the flashbacks were horrendous. Come on to fuck, Shug. Get a grip of yourself here. He's almost pleading with himself. Shug has a strong suspicion he's not going to make it again. It's too strong, the power, the allure of the beverage. Think it through, Shug. You know it never goes to plan. You always end up fucked and making a complete cunt of yourself. Why would you want to do that again? Bang. The front door slams behind him. He needs to get as far away from here as possible before his wife comes home. Right, what's the plan, my man? Shug convinces himself that he's on to a winner if he has a plan. He needs to try something different this time rather than hanging around his usual haunts. I know. I'll head to one of the local hotels. She'll never find me there. He feels like a genius coming up with that idea. Fuck knows why she's still with you. You're a waste of space. Look at the fucking state of you. The screaming banshee is back in his head. This binge stuff is a marriage wrecker for sure. Shug pushes those thoughts from his head and gets a spring in his step as he sees the Abbotsford Inn and Hotel. This should be far enough out her way to get some peace. He's pleased with himself. Not long now till my thirst can be quenched and the binge can begin. Having a blowout, or out on a binge as it's more commonly known, has been a problem of Shug's since his teens. When he first started drinking, Shug has always been a binger. A binger is someone who, once they start drinking, or once they've had a certain amount of booze, can't stop and don't stop until the adventure has run its course. They lose all control over conscious thought as they become possessed by the demon drink. Usually it all ends in tears. That could mean anything from being found laying in the street with piss-stained trousers to waking up in jail or hospital. All accompanied by memory loss and heartache. Shug was a veteran of the binge, and this was the beginning of his latest breakout. Hi there. Do you have a room available for tonight? Shug asks the receptionist. We certainly do, sir. That will be £60. Shug thinks that's a bit steep, but nods his head anyway before he asks if, as a resident, he can drink till late. You certainly can, sir, the receptionist replies. We will keep the bar open for as long as you keep ordering, all night if need be. You fucking beauty. I've hit the jackpot. Shug does a wee dance in his head. There's your key, sir. Enjoy your stay. Shug heads straight to the bar. A pint of lager, barman, please. He smiles as the barman hands him his pint. Thank you very much. The binge is on. After a few pints, Shug decides to view his room. Maybe have a shower, freshen up for the evening ahead, and put what little possessions he has with him in a safe place while he gets fucked out his barnet with booze. As he enters the room, the phone rings. Shug thinks, what the fuck? He answers the phone to discover that it's his wife on the other end. Shug, please do not do this again. We've spoken about this binging. Please come home. At least do it in the house, and we can try to contain it, please. She is almost begging him. He can't handle hearing the exasperation in her voice, so he disconnects. It's game on. No going back now. A new plan is required. I'll change hotels. That will buy me some time. Again, he is impressed by his genius thinking. After gathering his possessions, he heads out to find another hotel to continue with his adventure. While strolling down the street, the few pints he's had start to kick in, and he's feeling pretty good. This is the life. Footloose and fancy free, he sees the Dumbuck Hotel and feels like an excited schoolboy. This will do nicely, he says out loud. Good evening, sir. The receptionist greets him. I'd like a room for the night, says Shug. No problem, sir. That will be £65. Shug pays and thinks the extra £5 is worth it if it keeps the wife from finding him. He heads straight to the bar. Pint of lager, please, and a whiskey chaser. Lovely, he thinks, as he knocks back the chaser. Shug enjoys his drink and starts up a conversation with the barman. If you booked a room in here, can you drink all night? Not in here, mate, the barman replies. I know some local hotels do that, but we only keep the bar open till 2. Oh, fuck, thinks Shug. I'd better get a carry-out for the room, as I'll still be wanting to drink way beyond that. Shug heads to the shop and buys enough booze to keep him going through the night. He's not thought much further ahead than that. Returning to the hotel with his cargo, he heads upstairs to view his new room and stash his booze, in anticipation for later, when the bar closes. He enters the room. It looks lovely. The phone rings again. What the fuck, thinks Shug. He answers the phone. It's his wife again. Shug, please do not do this. We've spoken about this binging. Please come home. At least do it in the house, and we can contain it. Please. What the fuck? Shug is bewildered and a bit freaked out. He shouts down the phone. How the fuck are you able to track and find me in these hotels? His wife shouts. I'm phoning your mobile, you drunk prick. Now get up the fucking road. Here we go. Get up the fucking road, you drunk prick, Shug. Thank you if you made it to the end of my very first short story.